Alright, welcome back everybody. Got a fun one for you today. I'm going to show you how to take something out of ZBrush and get it into Substance Painter quickly without UVs. You're saying, what? Substance Painter doesn't work without UVs. Well, I'm going to show you a hack on how to make this work. So what you need to do is go to my Gumroad or my QBrush page and download the Substance or the ZBrush to Substance Painter for ZBrush 2018, and basically I'll show you how to set it up real fast. You'll get two folders. One is a ZB2SP, and you want to put them in this particular file directory, which would be your startup folder. So it's under Pixelogic, ZBrush 2018, startup, ZPlugs, and you drop it right there. And then make sure it's ZPlugs, not ZPlug64. Remember that. And then you'll have another one, ZBrush to Substance Painter. It's actually spelled out here, and you drop that in your macros. And if we open him up, you can see it has a ping and a TIFF, and those are the type of files that it can create for you. Really, file size is exactly the same. TIFF will have a little more information, I believe. And so if we go over to this folder here, you'll see the files that are in here. You'll have two ZBrush materials and a plain 3D and an MTL file associated with that, and these will be used in Substance Painter. So once you have all that set up, go back into ZBrush. Let me load up your favorite model that you want to do. For today, we're gonna use my Starfighter that we created in a previous video, and I have modified that just a little bit. I have some additional groups set up there for material ID. And I'm gonna turn off perspective here. And before you really start anything, change your document resolution. We're gonna just do 2048 by 2048. Be sure Pro is turned off, resize, and we'll continue. Do Control N, and we're gonna zoom out here so we can see the whole document. We'll drag him in here. T for edit. We're going to position our model where we like it. You can actually turn perspective on. It'll still work with perspective. So we'll keep it on just for the sake of the tutorial here. In your subtool palette here, hold down Shift and click that little brush. Okay, so this way it turns off any poly paint information. This particular macro is not really set up for that. We're going to do all our painting inside Substance Painter. So now, say like we got our model, it's all nice and pretty, that's exactly where we want it. I'm just going to open up our texture panel so you can see what's going on. If you go down to your macros here, and let me go ahead and do a quick reload here, make sure it's up to date. If you go down to this folder here, ignore all these other ones here. These are just from my Greeble generator. And under ZBrush to Substance Painter, there's our two macros, ping or TIFF. It doesn't matter which one you do, it'll do the exact same operation. We're just going to do ping for this one. Go ahead and click it, and the macro will start, and it'll start rendering. It'll start rendering out maps. As you can see, it's populating over here and giving them their unique names. It's pretty quick Z script there. It only takes about a minute. The ambient occlusion takes about the longest to generate, and we should be almost done. And there we go. Maps are generated. Go to your texture panel to export them out, or you could go to the startup folder and export them out. So now it's done. We can come over here and see everything it did. Created a normal. It created a position map, and it's kind of a fake on a position map, but a lot of Substance Smart materials like to use position maps, so I created one to kind of fake it. So it's not totally precise. Got a mask, material ID, we got a curvature, ambient occlusion, and then we got a shadow. Okay, so you can export these out manually by clicking on each one and clicking export, or we go to that ZB2SP, and as you can see, it has populated this whole folder with these. Now, each time you run the action, it will overwrite these, so just keep that in mind. So what you could do is you can actually copy these over to a new folder so you can experiment. So let's go ahead and we're going to start up Substance Painter. All right, here we are in Substance Painter. So now we do File, New. We're going to keep it at 2048 resolution. We're going to select our mesh. And now we're going to select that plane 3D that's in your ZB2SP folder. Or you can put it anywhere you want. It's up to you. Open him up. We're going to add our files. We're going to add all these maps that it just generated. So just click and drag and open them all up. Click OK. And what you should have just a plain 3D or a square right here. And what we want to do is go to our texture settings, scroll it down so we can see the down here. I may drag him up just a little bit here. And if you go into your shelf down here and go to project, here's all the maps that you used. So now all we have to do is grab our normal, drop them into normal, and there we go. It's already starting to work. So let's grab like material ID, put it into ID map, do position, drag him down, position, there we go, and curvature, AO to ambient occlusion. All right, we don't need to worry about the rest of those, the thickness or world space. And let's see, let's go in your texture settings, go ahead and add an opacity. We'll go to layers now. Actually, first, go to your shader settings, change it from the PBR metal rough and change it to PBR metal with alpha blended. So now, close him up. We'll go ahead and just trash that one layer there. We're going to add a new fill layer. We're going to turn off everything but opacity. Now drag your mask and drop it into opacity. Okay, so you saw the back of that disappear. So if you go to display and you increase your opacity on your environment, now you can see to the back, you can see behind your model now. Or it's not really a model, it's just basically a texture. But that comes in super handy now. Let's go to texture settings. No, just layer. And go down to, let's just slap a smart material on here. One of my favorite ones is machinery. I'm going to zoom him in just a little bit. Just click and drag, drop him. And make sure you keep that. We're going to rename him opacity. Keep that opacity layer above everything else. Now it'll mask it out every time. So we can open up our machinery here. We can adjust the rust a little bit. You go down to the mask editor. And we could probably back off some of that rust there. And it's using all those maps that we dropped in there to make this work. You can do a lot of adjustments. You can change your position gradient. That's where the position map came in. So it should, let me see, let me open up position gradient. Top to bottom. It's kind of, I think it's kind of reverse, so you can always just invert it if it's not working the right way. Like I said, it was a fake position map, but it does help generate some of these effects. So let's go ahead. We go down to the metal base here. What we could do is create a couple unique metals here. So we've got our yellow metal here. Let me see if I can change the light. If you hold down Shift and right mouse button, you can move the light around. We can probably crank up the opacity or the metallic a little bit if we wanted. We could drop the roughness down all the way. Cool. Alright, so now let's make a copy of that metal, the metal base. Just go ahead and right click and duplicate. Now this one I'm going to change to a different color. So let's go say like red. Okay. And go ahead, right click, add mask with color selection. We can come up to here, pick color. See, now we can start decorating our little panels that I already had set up with my material ID. So we can click that there. Pick another color. Let's see, maybe let's change the tolerance just a little bit. Seems to be picking way too many. Let's go ahead and remove that blue. Pick color. Let's do this. Here, pick. Alright, so we've got like two different colors in here. Let's go ahead and create, let's go ahead and take this. We'll duplicate again. I'm gonna remove the mask. I'm gonna change the color. Change it down to a black. Okay, we'll do the add mask color selection. Let me zoom in a little bit. Pick colors here. I want to get like this right there. Let's get the canopy. There we go. Get the engines back here. Let's reduce the tolerance on this one. There we go. And let's see, let's get the, there we go. Cool. Not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so let's go. Let's do another, let's just pick a standard material. I want to do that canopy there. Let's do a plastic. Yeah, why not? We're going to move him above the machinery there. Still below the opacity. We're going to adjust some things here. Now, watch it when you pick anything with a high metallic color on there, because if you get all the way up, it just turns black, which a lot of these do have. So dial it back to like 0.55, and that'll help you out. So add mask color selection, pick color. There we go. Alright, so we've got our basic color scheme, super fast. So you can do a lot more, you can get a lot more into it than I am here, but this is just, I'm not going to get into nitty gritties here. That's going to be all on you and what you want to do. Let's go ahead, we can actually render an eye ray if we wanted. So let's change some of the options here. We can do clear ground or clear color. We can even turn off ground if we wanted. We could turn on the post processes. We could probably do anti-aliasing and glare. Let me see if I get the light to work. Let me open up glare, turn it to bloom. There we go. Let's maybe ramp up the environment exposure. That'll help us out a little bit. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Go back down. Maybe adjust the tone mapping. Cool. All right, let's see. What else can I do here for you? I think if you... All right, cool. Let's go back to our model out here. One thing to be careful of, if you're... Don't accidentally rotate, which is Alt and left click. You can see you're rotating out of the plane's view. If you hold down Shift, it'll snap it right back to there. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. Let's go ahead and add, click on him. Let's add a fill layer. Change it to just color. Opacity, let's see. Let's go back to our project here. We can add our shadow on top of that base color, and then change it from normal to multiply. And now we've added our shadow back to the image there. So let's see. So now we have a fake shadow on there. So it's just a matter of keeping the light similar to where that shadow would be. And you can probably do a better shadow in ZBrush. Change the angle so you can get a little softer shadows there. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm not really going into that. I just wanted to get you off and running here. But as you can see, we've already got a really nice render going on, super fast out of ZBrush and into Substance Painter. And if you wanted, you could just up the max time to say like 30 seconds so it can resolve a little bit more. Give it a few more seconds here. And you can always override the viewport resolution and crank that up. And then all you have to do is just hit save render. And usually I save it as a PNG, so it'll remove the background, that gray background there. And then you can take it into Photoshop, add your own background to it or whatever. I'm not going to do that for you, but... So I was telling you how this would make a quick... how you could do a quick iteration. So say like, oh, well, art director he doesn't like that yellow, so he wants it different. So we go down to the metal base, the yellow one down here, click, drag. Okay, well, what does he think about blue? Or what does he think about green? Or say like he doesn't like the panel colors. Well, let's change that up. We can change that to blue. Change that to purple, yellow, whatever. You can change it all super fast, so we can go back to our material here. We can change the canopy color, change it to red. Boom, there you go. And then take it back, render off a new one, and there you go. So super quick and easy. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know how it's working for you. Show me some idea, or show me some of your renders, and I think we'll see you in the next video. You guys have a great day.